Welcome back to the All Balls channel. With me, I have today a different face, a slightly frowny one, but I have Kyle Pereira. And we have two very special guests joining us. They've been following us since the start. So let's bring them on, Aaron and Renisha. Guys, how's it going?
All good, man. Thanks for having me on the show. It's a pleasure.
All good, Rahul. I mean, I'm a big fan of All Balls. I've been loving the post that you all put up, and I'm glad to be here to be part of this session. So hoping it's a good one.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for all the love. And since Kyle is smiling, Kyle, how's it going?
Good, bro. Good.
He's very excited because he has all the lineups and all the information ready. But before we get into today's game, yesterday the Italians being the first one to qualify. Aaron, a word on that. Totally dominant.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Italy, I think they've now gone 900 plus minutes without conceding a goal. And I think they've kept a clean sheet in each of their last 10 matches in all competitions. But I think the attacking flair was really on the show yesterday. They look like a proper unit, Italy. I think they are going to rival France to be the main favorites for this tournament just on evidence of what they put on display yesterday. They were totally dominant.
And Renisha, word on Wales. The Gareth Bale show.
Oh my gosh, the Gareth Bale was, I think, trying to do a Timo Werner yesterday. I mean, with the orbit of the fact that the penalty just went out into space. Considering he had 2 assists, that was brilliant. But if only he finished that penalty, it would have been amazing. I mean, I don't know whether it was competition for Timo or what, but yeah, it was funny to watch that Gareth Bale missing that penalty shot. So yeah.
And KP, I love putting you in the line of fire. So the Russian game is yours. Tell me about that goal.
Honestly, I think Finland should have taken that win. They got a little hard done by that offside in the beginning of the game. They should have gone through, honestly. Got a little lucky for Russia.
Coming to today's games, and the first one between Ukraine and North Macedonia. While I do want to let you know that there are 2 gentlemen who have voted for North Macedonia it will come back to bite them. One of them is on your face over there, Kyle, and one of them, Scott, is back in the studio. But Renisha, coming to you first. Ukraine having a good game, relatively good game versus the Dutch, of course, a 5-goal thriller. But coming up against North Macedonia, who've gone down to Austria and not really, the top ranked teams in the league. So how do you see this game going?
I mean, both having lost their first games in the group stage have to really redeem themselves. I feel like this is their do or die situation if they really want to keep their Euro dreams alive. Coming down to Ukraine, I mean, their form was amazing. The spirit that they played with against Netherlands, who are Europe's top 10 teams. I mean, that fighting spirit to come back and the speed in which they came back in the last 10 minutes was just phenomenal. I mean, you had 16,000 Dutch fans all holding their breath, literally, when Ukraine took over. But coming down to North Macedonia, I have a strong hunch, I'm also supporting them, considering that, they've beaten Germany in the World Cup qualifiers. And I mean, Germany, the World Cup winners, got beaten by North Macedonia, who's supposed to be Europe's lowest squad. So I feel a cheeky 2-1 North Macedonia.
And Aaron?
Ukraine,
go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be Ukraine taking this one. They have a number of different formations they use, Ukraine. So I think in this one, they're going to deploy a 4-3-3 formation. That will offer them a lot of width from the fullbacks, and the advancing wide players will cut inside and create space with overlapping runs. They like to play vertically and pass the ball quickly, so behind the opposition lines. And in Yaramchuk, they have a really technically gifted forward. He likes to get in behind, those through balls, and he likes to play quick 1-2s. So I think it's going to be tough because Macedonia are going to set up in their usual 5-3-2 formation. They're going to be hard to break down. But I think that Ukraine, with the talented Zinchenko and Malinovsky, who like to get forward, they'll have a little bit too much maybe for North Macedonia, and I predict them to win 2-1 to Ukraine.
I'm glad you mentioned Malinovsky because he is one of those random picks I have put in my fantasy team because obviously, in my life, I'm out of budget usually everywhere. But coming to lineups, Kyle Pereira with a bright smile on his face.
No, I'm saying I agree with Aaron though, because even Ukraine have played this 4-3-3, but they look like today they're going to be playing this 4-3-2-1. Yarmolenko and Yarmolenko playing right behind the striker. And how can we disregard Yarmolenko after that? What can I say? Messi-esque, Salah-esque goal from outside the box. That curve was insane. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little tough to break down this North Macedonian side, because from what I see, they're playing 5 at the back. It's going to be insane because they're going to have Elmas right in front of them and Goran Pandev in front of that. So it's going to be, they're just going to sit back, in my opinion, and just take that beating after beating and play on the counter. I mean, there's not much to play on the counter considering you have Goran Pandev as your striker up top, but that's the game plan, I guess.
North
So before we
Macedonia,
move-
however, sorry. I was just
No,
going
no,
to
go
say,
ahead,
but
go ahead.
however, North Macedonia have 2 of their players already booked and they're 1 game away from suspension. I mean, Alexander and Alioski both received yellow cards last game. And if they do get booked this time, then there's a suspension. So I'm hoping North Macedonia put up a show that they did with Ukraine in 2004 when they beat them 1-0. That was, I think they beat them in 2004 during Euro friendly, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I'm hoping they fight back in today's game and have a 2-1 victory for me.
Yeah, so speaking of suspension, I think Messi fans and Liverpool fans have got mental suspension that you have compared Yarmolenko to Salah and Messi.
I said esque. I said esque. I said
Yes,
esque.
we all know what you said, but coming to predictions, Aaron, give me a score.
2-1 to Ukraine.
Runisha
I say 2-1 cheeky Macedonia.
and KP.
Can I go for a really dynamic one and say 2-2?
Oh, draw.
You've already compared them to Messi. I mean, what's next? You say 5-0 win to Macedonia.
Yarmolenko with a swerve.
Yes, okay. Moving on, swerve. Can Denmark swerve the Belgium wave? KP.
Oof, tough one. This is tough one. But I don't see Belgium conceding in this game, to be honest, because that lineup they're going to be putting out today, I think Eden is going to come back into the squad. Boyata is going to come back into the squad. They're going to play 3 at the back with Dendoncker and Thielsmann right in front of them. And Hazard, Mertens and Lukaku, your front 3. Is looking dangerous.
But Aaron, I think Vertonghen went off injured in the last game and got replaced by Vermaelen, the same guy who won a trophy at Barcelona without playing a single minute after getting transferred from Arsenal. It felt so nice to say that. But is the absence of Vertonghen, considering that he may not play, is that going to make a difference to the defense?
To some extent, yes. I think that not having him back there is going to definitely, it's going to be difficult for them. But looking at Denmark, the loss of Eriksen sadly is going to be huge for them. Like, he's the main playmaker. Like, everything goes through him. So not having him in the squad is going to be really difficult. And then on the other side, then you have Lukaku, who's in really fine form for Belgium, and he offers them the option to go direct. So I think that loss is anyways, Belgium have an aging backline. So that could be an issue, and maybe Denmark can profit from that. But on the whole, I think Belgium just have too many game-changing players, and they'll just cause too many problems for Denmark.
And Nisha, I think the return of Eden Hazard and probably KDB, might feature in this game. Is it going to be too much? Because for Belgium, if they win, they've pretty much qualified. So they will go give the kitchen sink.
Yeah. I mean, with De Bruyne might coming back, but then they've also taken a loss with Timothy Castagne, who has, similar injuries that happened during the last game with Russia. Belgium, Denmark, if you look at it, I mean, statistically over the last few games, they've had back-to-back victories with Denmark last year during the Nations League. These 2 countries are locking horns in the major tournament for the very first time since the Euro 1984. And it was crazy because Denmark recovered from a 2-goal deficit to win 3-2. So, I mean, Eriksen makes a big difference to not being in the Denmark squad. And also the fact that the Denmark players have a little bit more of a heart sunk in, the other day, there was motivation for them to play, considering, after the whole thing that happened, Ericsson came out. So they came back fighting. But now knowing that, Ericsson's condition, knowing that they got to go on without him for the rest of the Euros, I don't know how motivated or how up they are, but Belgium look like they have a chance over Denmark today.
Have a chance. Wow, that's actually putting it very lightly.
Yeah.
And yes, Kyle, before we come to your prediction, I want you to know that you've been getting a lot of praise in the chat of being very resourceful. So taking that forward, give me your prediction.
Probably 2-0 to Belgium. Because why I'm saying this, because as Aaron also said that Ericsson will sadly be missed in this game, but from what I see, Matthias Jensen is going to be replacing him in that center midfield role, and I don't think he has the output numbers to feed a Dahlberg or a Martin Braithwaite or Poulsen. So 2-0, and maybe Lukaku Hazard with the goals.
Aaron?
I'm going to go for a Lukaku hat-trick 3-0 to Belgium. He's looking really deadly. Yeah, definitely.
Indonesia.
2-1 Belgium.
Wow, you're being really very...
No, I'm saying it because, okay, so why I'm saying Denmark could get a goal in, because it's also the mindset of the players that they might really be hungry to show that they can do it without Ericsson. So a cheeky one coming in from Denmark, you could just see it. So I'm hoping that they have one, but I want Belgium to win today, 2-1. So yeah.
This is cheeky one. You've taken cheeky 2 with North Macedonia. And now moving to our last game. And while I do miss Carl Lewis on this call, but Austria are taking on the Dutch. Tunisia, starting with you. How good were Holland the last game for those first 70 minutes? And, again, even Austria coming back from a 1-0 deficit to turn it around.
Firstly, let's talk to Netherlands. Let's talk about Netherlands. I mean, Netherlands have a home advantage where they've been playing 3 of their games at home. So the fans also supporting them. I mean, the entire stadium's orange, screaming their support. So it does make a whole bit of a change. Netherlands have been playing a good game, but I don't like the defense of what's it called? The game plan that they're playing. I don't like the 3-5-2
formation.
The formation that they play. So if they do line up on their defense and get that a little stronger, Austria could have problems with beating Netherlands today.
And also, Aaron, coming to this, continue. No, go on.
No. I'm saying, looking at the way Netherlands played last week, they gave them too much of space. They gave them too much of ball space. Gave them enough of time to convert a goal. So if they do that again today with Austria, they could face problems. So, yeah.
And speaking of this formation, Aaron, I actually wanted to ask you now, when they say it's a 3 at the back, it technically with the wing backs adds up to a 5. Now, does this get you stronger defensively, or does it leave you vulnerable because your wing backs technically have to support an attack? So, is that going to cost the Netherlands? Because though they do have delay coming back in, does that their wing backs are very advanced? Can Austria exploit that? Do they have the quality to exploit that?
They definitely have the quality. And you saw David Alaba's cross, his pinpoint cross, and his delivery was absolutely out of this world. And it can cause problems, but looking at Dumfries in particular for the Dutch, he's so dominant aerially. He's full of energy. He's up and down that wing. His delivery is also good. And you saw his goal last time, which gave the Dutch the victory. So I think he's going to cause a lot of problems for Austria. And I think that Austria also do have a lot of Salzburg players, and they have that full gas football, as it's to be called. So they have a lot of creative midfielders also. Sabitzer is in there. And you saw his assist for Liner's goal. His passing ability is special, and I think he can unlock. If there are any flaws in the Dutch system, it's he's the guy to do it. His ball carrying can drag defenders out of position and create space. David Alaba, as I mentioned earlier, his delivery is insane. So it'll be an interesting one for sure.
I saw Dumfries play. I thought he's an Antonio Valencia with brains. But coming to Kyle Pereira, please, your analysis on this game.
To be honest, I actually agree with both Ronisia and Aaron on this one because, like Aaron said, Marcel Sabitzer and David Alaba both can pick out a very, very good pass. And if both their wingbacks can run past them, I don't see why not they can exploit, like Ronisia said, they can exploit this three-man at the back with De Vrij, Nathan Ake, and Julian Timber. Because I've been saying it, like, even Frank de Boer, I don't think he had a game plan that night. You know, because he took off Patrick Van Holt. Okay, Daily Bin understood because there was a condition with him. He had to come off. There was a necessity for him to come off. But why did Patrick Van Holt have to come off? Because I felt like that left a very big hole in that defense through the side from the left-hand side, and that's where the attacks are coming down from. To be honest, and I don't know why Wijnaldum is playing alone behind Memphis Depay and Weghorst. He should be playing at least next to De Jong because I still think De Boer doesn't have a plan going into this tournament because I feel like his changes from the last game were a little all over the place, and that's where I see that a Marcel Sabitzer or David Alaba, Konrad Laimer will all try to exploit that because if he makes that change in the game and he changes the plan of the game, because as you know, Austria have just kept to this one plan. They want this goal. They will take that 1-0 also and go for it. So yeah, it's a tough one to call, to be honest.
So after being so, analytical of both these teams, I want your prediction. Wow, that was a tongue twister. KP.
2-1, I guess. If Frank de Boer gets it right on the day, I say 2-1 to them, because only if I see Memphis playing like he played that day, he ran through six midfielders on his own and just did his thing.
And then he did what he did when he was a striker at United. But Tunisia.
Okay, back to me. Considering Franco Foda's duo that he played last game of Michael and Marco together, both coming on just 1 hour before they announced them, both getting their names on the sheet. I mean, if the Dutch don't have their defense really strong, I say it could go into a draw 2-2.
You're probably trying to play Robin Hood, no? Today, you're like just giving everything to the poor. Like, take the one goal, take the draw.
No, the reason I'm saying that is the fact that if the Dutch don't get their defense really strong, I mean, considering there was goals galore between Ukraine and Netherlands the last game, if they don't happen, and it was in a fraction of the last 10 minutes that the goals went in. So if they keep, if they have a 2 lead at the start and then they take it easy and don't defend properly, Austria have every power to like just get a goal in if they just miss up by a second. So yeah.
And Aaron,
I think it's a draw.
Aaron, before I ask you for your prediction, there has been a threat that has come up on our chat, which says that we are going to hold you to the Lukaku hat trick because we are captaining him. Okay, so I would just like to point out that I am in front of you and not typing. So if you have to take this up, you know what to call. But your prediction on the game.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure. I think the Netherlands will just have that little more quality maybe to edge it. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to the Netherlands.
Okay. So basically, people in Bandra just don't love clean sheets. They just want goals everywhere.
See goals. Just want to see goals.
No one has predicted. Everyone has grown up playing at Supari Talab. Thank you, Aaron, for joining us. Thank you, Renisha, for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, do not forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out our mascot who smiles a little more than Kyle is right now. But his name is Ballsy and he's cute. But also follow us on Instagram and catch us live every day at 4. Stay home and stay safe.
Thanks. Bye.